Hey, so what's happening, guys? A really curious piece of news came out today about what could be apparently yet another game announced for the Nintendo NX, even though we don't know that we're calling it the NX yet. Now, this was something that first I saw broke on Twitter from Nintendo Enthusiast. A lot of you might know Nintendo Enthusiast. I've interacted with Sean Long a couple of times on some podcasts. Great YouTube channel, great website too. You should definitely check out the website. A lot of stuff that those guys do as far as Nintendo news, retro gaming, retro Nintendo stuff, indie stuff for Nintendo's consoles. Very cool stuff. And he made a post, or Nintendo Enthusiast, I should say, made a post on Twitter about a new game called Blackhound, which is rumored to be from Hideo Kojima, of all people, and for Nintendo's unannounced platform. So a lot of stuff going on there. And when I first read it, I was really shocked and I was really curious, like, oh my gosh, what is this about? I looked further into it, and all I could find was Nintendo enthusiasts reporting on the topic. That was the only article or anything I could find about it. And so I wasn't quite sure how to take it, and I didn't want to take it as anything I maybe would have made a video about, or any sort of solidified news or rumor about another game for Nintendo's next console. However, I was able to find another couple small sites that are now reporting the same thing, and I found that interesting enough and kind of solid enough news to want to at least make a video and discuss it for you guys real quick. Again, the game is titled Blackhound, and there is a teaser website for it. I'm going to link that below, so definitely check out the teaser website. And I have it in front of me here, so I'm going to pull it back up. It's interesting because the website just has a logo with the name Blackhound. It has sort of a symbol that sort of reminds me of the symbol for the band Coheed and Cambria, mixed with like a pentagram, mixed with the heartagram, which is for a band called Him, for anyone who knows that band. Not really my style, but it's weird. Like, the logo reminds me of like an amalgamation of all those kind of three things. And it says Blackhound, and there's a weird picture of what looks like a blurry head, and I can't tell if it's like a person's head or an animal's head, or if it's even a head. It's strange. It's a unique image. I'm gonna have it kind of posted below here, and it does say on the bottom PlayStation 4, Xbox One. It has those logos, and then in the middle it says currently unannounced Nintendo console. That is crazy. That is really insane to look at here. Now, according to both the Nintendo Enthusiast article and some of these other articles I found, they reference how in the full name of the URL it says Blackhound, a something something game, and where it says something something, it's all hashtags, and so everyone is saying that because the amount of hashtags in the first and second word would match up with Hideo Kojima, that seems to be the only piece of news that anyone's going off of to reference this as a Hideo Kojima game. And I understand that there's just as many hashtags as there are letters in the name Hideo Kojima. And typically when he's making a game, it does say a Hideo Kojima game. So I guess that could be true, but it seems pretty ominous and vague. Excuse me. It seems like they really could be reaching to say that that's what this is trying to say, that just because it says a blank blank game and those blanks match up with the names Hideo Kojima, that it must be a Hideo Kojima game. Whatever, maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. I don't really have enough information to go on there. I mean, you can look at the website yourself and you can see the hashtags and determine if you feel like that's enough to go on, that this is supposed to be a Hideo Kojima game. Because as far as I could tell in the research I did before making this video, there's nothing else surrounding this title that hints at it being a Hideo Kojima production. Granted, we know it's no longer going to have like the Gray Fox logo like it did on Metal Gear, and we know that he's no longer working with Konami. So this certainly would be his first game outside of Konami. And I think that is great news if this is true, because something I've been saying since the whole Konami fallout happened is is that he would have to do something. He would probably want to move away from Konami, still stay in the industry. It's what the guy knows. He's a visionary. He's a game developer. He's passionate about it. So, of course, he'd want to move on still within the industry, developing and directing games just away from his previous studio, because his previous studio, as we all know, went batshit insane, crazy. So there's no reason for him to continue that relationship, but there's every reason in the world for him to want to continue making games. So we get the news of this Blackhound game, and it's only a teaser website. It has a countdown, and that countdown ends, as of right now, 11 days and 22 minutes. In 11 days, it's September 11th, so that's kind of a weird, ominous thing. This could turn out to just be nothing, like a fake or a hoax, but I don't think it is. It's just too vague to be that, and no one, I don't think, would really care until they actually knew what this title was. So we have this website for a game called Blackhound, made by blank blank, maybe Hideo Kojima, and it does have currently unannounced Nintendo console. That is crazy to see. Crazy for a lot of reasons, because if it's true, it would have to be the NX, and we know that the NX is this thing and that is slowly ramping up into something that's going to be more and more into the gamers' collective consciousness. And is production of the system going to start this year or not? Is it going to be announced next year or not? Is it a successor to the Wii U or not? Will it come out in 2016 or come out in 2017? Is it going to be a super powerful machine that's twice as powerful as the current generation? Or will it be more on par with the PS4 and Xbox One? You know, will it work with like the Wii U gamepad or not? Will it be backwards compatible or not? Will it use physical media or be digital only? There's so much shit going on with the Nintendo NX right now. You've heard me talk about it. I've made several videos discussing a lot of the rumors and my thoughts on those. And a lot of the rumors I don't like, but some of them are good news. And at this point, as much as I regret the fact that we're obviously losing the Wii U early, you've heard me say it many times. At this point, because I regrettably have to accept that it's true, that we're losing the Wii U too early because Nintendo didn't know what the hell to do with it, I am ready for whatever the new machine's going to be. If we have to say goodbye to the Wii U, it sucks that we do, but whatever. At this point, I guess I'm just ready for what the next thing is going to be. We had the rumor/confirmation, people are taking it in different ways, of Dragon Quest XI coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo NX a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, we all kind of went crazy theorizing on what that could mean, that Square Enix talked about it for Nintendo did, and if that game is coming out to the Nintendo NX, what does that mean about the system's capabilities? And, you know, this idea, this Blackhound game coming to the Nintendo NX kind of also makes you think the same thing. I like it for a couple of reasons. I'm going to get the elephant in the room out of the way because we all talk about the power of the NX, and I've said many times, power and graphics do not make a game, and they do not make a platform. I stand by that. I think that that's true, evidenced by the fact that the Wii U, the least powerful of the three current-gen consoles, is far and above my favorite because it has the best controller and the best exclusive library. The end. That's the case. I love my PlayStation and my Xbox too, but my Wii U, which is underpowered, is still my favorite because of what it produces. So when I think about the NX, do I need it to be the most powerful machine or have all this next-gen technology that we've never seen before to love it? No, I do not. That being said, I think that Nintendo has unfortunately positioned them in a place where it should be pretty powerful. I no longer think it needs to be vastly powerful than the PS4 and Xbox One, which for a small period of time I felt like that was actually very important for it to be vastly powerful. I've realized that at the end of the day, partly because of my video I made where I discussed if the Nintendo NX would be considered an 8th or a 9th gen console, and I realized that it would probably be an 8th gen console just because the PS4 and Xbox One are going to go for so long. At that point, I feel like the Nintendo NX could balance out the generations and last long enough to finish out the rest of the 8th generation right alongside its competition, and the Wii U is going to be this weird little bump in the road to get there, unfortunately. And with that being the case, it's like, you know what? I think it's fine for that system to be right on par or even slightly better than the competition. So I feel like that's going to be the case. Seeing games like Dragon Quest XI and now whatever this Blackhound game is going to be released on all platforms simultaneously with the NX right alongside its competition, to me tells me that the system is going to have the necessary power, whether it's just as powerful, just a little bit underpowered, or just a little bit overpowered, to be able to keep in line with the PlayStation and the Xbox. And that's cool, man. You know me, I don't think graphics make the game or the platform, but they do matter sometimes. And Nintendo's positioned themselves in a really unfortunate place of having to play catch-up, which is strange coming off of the last generation where they trounced the competition with the Wii. And so this is the kind of thing that I think is important enough for them to consider. I don't think they should make graphics their focal point of their next machine, but I think that they need to consider how important they are for modern games and for third-party games to be relevant on their consoles. And that brings me to the other reason that I like the idea of this game and what's happening with this weird website, if it's true, is that to me, this, combined with Dragon Quest, shows that third-party developers, really important people and companies in the industry, are now making their games for the NX. Right alongside the competition, this could be laying the foundation and the groundwork for a very solid multi-platform library, third-party library to be released on the NX and on Nintendo's machines going forward, which to me shows that they really might have been working very hard the last two E3s, very specifically the last one where we heard about this, trying to coax third parties back and say, we're finally doing it. We're finally trying to make the machine that you feel comfortable working with us on, bringing your games to our console. I'm hoping that this is the first sign of Nintendo realizing that, hey, we still need to build our business model off of our first-party stuff and our first-party fundamentals and our first-party software. Obviously, they can never lose that, but if they can also bring back into the fray a legitimate, relevant, important third-party library with games like Dragon Quest and Hideo Kojima's next title, that also, by the way, looks painfully mature. It's a very gritty-looking page, so the other thing is it's a third-party game that's mature and multi-platform, not been Nintendo's strongest suit the last couple of years. And if they get that, if they've realized that that's important to do again and they're getting that stuff back on board, that's awesome. That's going to spell such good news for Nintendo's immediate future and this potential success of the NX. I think that that's important. And like I said, I maintain I don't want them to work so hard to get these things back into the fray so that they would, kind of sacrifice or compromise the fundamentals that have made them important. I'm with you guys who are Nintendo fans too. It's their innovative nature, their unique controllers and interfaces, and their first-party games that are most important to Nintendo and to me as a Nintendo fan and as a gamer. Easily. But I think that they can still work with these kinds of companies and these kinds of games and not have to sacrifice the integrity of what Nintendo has been. Some people seem to feel like they can't really do both. Like if they start doing third-party things and having these games and focus on graphics, that all of a sudden they're not the Nintendo we knew. And what about what makes Nintendo Nintendo? And I totally think that that's kind of insane. I mean, they can easily still be the Nintendo we know and love and still have these kinds of games. It's like with the GameCube, when they were the Nintendo we knew and loved then when the GameCube came out, but they still worked hard to get the Resident Evil franchise exclusive for a while, working with Capcom to get these other exclusive mature games, and also getting things like Eternal Darkness released on their system exclusive. I mean, you can do these things. You can have it look back to the 16-bit days, too, and the Nintendo 64. You can do both, and I think Nintendo can still do both, and what I'm hoping is, with the reveal of this website, and the fact that it references, again, verbatim, currently unannounced Nintendo console, that Nintendo is finally laying the groundwork again to get the right kind of games and experiences on their system going forward. And if they couple this and they don't screw up the other things that make Nintendo them, and they still keep the innovation coming and they still make their first-party software awesome, then they're in great shape. This could be a really good sign. Granted, in summary, it's still kind of a rumor because if you look at this page, it's so basic. It could be a hoax. It could be nothing. I mean, I don't think it is. I actually think this is legitimate. So, take that for what it is. I think this is legitimate. But it might not be. We don't know anything about it. I didn't get to find any. I didn't see IGN or GameSpot or anybody reporting on this, Polygon or Kotaku, any of the larger sites, to be fair. I did wait till I saw a couple small sites reporting on it, including Nintendo Enthusiast, but no one huge. So until I kind of see one of those guys talk about it, I'm going to remind myself that at the end of the day, this could turn out to be not what it looks like, but it feels pretty good. It feels like it's something. It feels like this is leading towards something awesome. I don't know that I believe that we should feel that this is Hideo Kojima's next game, but I'm hoping to learn that it is. I think that would be a hugely good sign for Nintendo. And just because Hideo Kojima makes good games, so regardless of the platform, I'd be excited to see what this game turned out to be. So, is this what it looks like or is it not? I don't know. Does this really spell the good things for the Nintendo NX like I'm hoping it does? I don't know. But I stand by what I'm saying here. I feel like if this is true, which I think it is, I think it's a good thing. And you know the reasons why. It shows that Nintendo might have really worked to repair third-party relations. They're making a system that that third-party companies feel comfortable making their games on. They're working to get multi-platform games. This could be the beginning of things like the next Grand Theft Auto also gets a release on the Nintendo system. And maybe the next Elder Scrolls game gets a release on the Nintendo system. Destiny 2. I'm trying to think of another big third-party game, anything. The next Resident Evil, obviously. Anything. Like, if stuff like this starts coming out on the Nintendo system right alongside the competition, we're in great shape for Nintendo for the next couple of years and for the next system. This is the best news, again, going completely off of theory. this is the best news we might be having, I might have seen about the NX rumors so far, because you've heard me talk about the current rumors. Most of the current rumors about the NX I don't like, and I don't like the time frame that it looks like it might be coming out in. I just don't like any of it. It hasn't felt great to me. I'm willing to wait and see, and I believe in Nintendo at the end of the day, so it'll probably still turn out okay because they're a smart company. But I haven't loved the news. This, to me, when I read between the lines of what this and the Dragon Quest announcement mean, I think it means good things. That's my personal take. You may differ from me completely, and that's completely okay. I'm not telling anyone to feel like I feel. I'm just sharing how I feel, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. So, take a look at this website. Look at the small amount of details on here. Look at the hashtag name. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think that this is legitimate? Do you think that the hashtag thing really does mean a Hideo Kojima game, or do you think it means nothing? Do you think this could turn out to be fake or nothing like what it seems? You know, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this could certainly turn out. It's a pretty exciting time. I take this as all positive stuff for now. Do you guys agree? Do you take this as positive? Do you see the positives that I see in it? Or do you think that it's nothing? You know, maybe in a couple days we find out this is all bullshit and I wasted 15 minutes, 20 minutes or whatever talking to you guys about it. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna feel really positive about it until I hear otherwise. So that's it. You know, thanks for tuning in. Share your thoughts below. Check out this Blackhound website. Tell me what you guys think. Hideo Kojima, yay or nay? And yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.